Cool. The live button is on, and we want to play, Jen and I want to play Starcross today. This Kickstarter is still going on, and I am in. And yesterday or 2 days ago, I played Starcross for the first time, but it was with my son, and it was an interesting and a good experience. But today is my first time really playing it when we won't use the tower, but it's still Starcross because we use a mechanic which is simulating the results of the tower, hopefully. And Jen has prepared a wonderful spreadsheet for that, and we might jump into that spreadsheet in a minute. But following the procedures of the game, I think the first is character creation, and then we can look at the mechanics. That makes more sense. Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Good that you're with me. So, shall we start with having a look at who we are?
Yeah.
That is so tough.
Are you interested in playing the lead or the follow?
I would be interested in both.
I play both now, so either whichever one is fine by me.
I think I have a tendency to be the lead in real life, so I would prefer being the follow.
Okay. We can do that. Let me switch our names in the sheet.
Ah, yes.
That way we don't get confused.
Exactly. Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the front of the document. What has brought us together?
And who are we?
Yeah.
All the good reasons.
Yeah. Do you have like a sort of genre that you're interested in? Do you want to play something super fantastical or something more realistic?
I'm actually interested in doing the realistic thing.
Okay, sure.
But from my side, it could be historical. I actually very much like the breaking the ice character creation process, where you think about what is different between the two of you, and then picking that as the deciding moment, and turning that around.
I've only played once, so I'm not super familiar with that one.
Yeah, like you go through a list of things which could differentiate you, like which gender do you have, like are you rich or poor, are you from where do you come, how old are you? So I played with a person much younger than me, so we switched our age, and I was younger and he was older, for example. Yeah, so I come from Europe, for example.
I do not.
But it should also be interesting to you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have strong feelings about the actual sort of if we play like realistic or sort of, like I said, more fantastical. I think I just want to make sure that we're making a pair of people who really shouldn't, but really want to, because that's what this game's about.
Yes, yeah. And for sure the X card is on the table because that's so cool. It's part of the rules. Yeah, we don't even have to edit. Yeah, because there could be problematic content indeed. Yeah, like I was thinking about like being. First, I was thinking about being like a nanny, like staying a year abroad. It's like the typical way my generation went to the States still. Like I was born in '79, and many people were excited about going to the States because it's the country of freedom and all opportunities and so on. And many of my generation had a US flag over their bed. I remember that. I wasn't among them. I had Karl Marx, but But I still, for me, as well, the US was a country of my dreams. Yeah. So, and what opportunities do you have? Like living with a family for a year, for example, was a good opportunity. However, having the nanny and the parent sounds a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm super into that specific relationship.
No, that's too abusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, are you? Would you want to set it like current day, or would you want to set it in like the 80s or something else?
80s is good for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Cultural references.
Reaching way back for 80s. I still count. I still count. I was born in 1980, so.
Yeah. That would make sense.
All right, so 1980s. Trying to think of what would keep people apart in the 80s.
I mean, for most exchange programs, there were very strict rules about having relationships. It was strictly prohibited.
Right.
Because the people were very much afraid of pregnancies on such years abroad.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So if it's a small town and we just shouldn't see each other, it might not be strong enough in terms of the last question, like what really keeps us separate. But I would like this kind of public social pressure saying nobody should see us.
I'm trying to see what's in the book, but it's not like the Galactic Empress is not applicable to this situation.
Yeah, and the two guys in the gym is the other example. I was first reading this as one story, and I was a little bit confused how the Empress is going to the gym.
That's a different game entirely. Yeah, I mean, like we could do the exchange student thing. I definitely super buy like in the 80s, the being like super strict about sort of fraternizing and none of that. Do you want to set it in the States or do you want to set it in a different country?
We could both be in a different country.
It's true.
And meet there. Why not in beautiful Italy?
Works for me. I know nothing about Italy, but I'm sure
Colosseum.
It's beautiful. Right, yeah.
Yes. Gelati, pizza.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable in Italy, I'm absolutely fine with playing in the States. And if I do something wrong, just correct me.
I like the idea of playing like in a different, like we're both not in our home country. I think that makes it really interesting. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we make it really, really juicy, really, like we really want to, but we really shouldn't. So like, what are the stakes? What's going to happen if we do get together? Do we just get sent home? Do we lose our credit or something for this term?
Yeah, we need to. And even worse, our parents have to pay back all the money. Like it was like a scholarship thing.
Yeah.
And and it's like a big investment for our parents.
Yeah. So what age are we?
16, 17.
Okay. I think I'd be more comfortable with 17.
Yeah. 17 is good. So I can say like my family had an Australian student living with us at that age for 1 year, and like they were going on a trip, like all students from the same program. They tripped over Europe, and the threat was real that they could be sent home if they do something stupid, like consuming drugs, having sex, these kind of things. So
All of
it's
those things teenagers do.
yes. Yeah. We still have this photo of him sitting in a car, which was also prohibited driving, having a friend of us on his lap and a joint in his hand. But it was fake. It was fake.
That's amazing. When I was in high school, the guy that I dated had a German student with them for like a really good amount of time. I don't know that it was a whole year, but then like he went over there and stayed over there for a couple months and was still friends with the guy like decades later.
Cool.
So, all right. So we are students.
I like it. Yes.
Are we? This is high school, right? 17-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if non-US has analog to, or I should say I don't know how much it's similar or different.
It's translatable, I would say. Yeah. High school goes 1 year longer in Germany, and so you learn a little bit already what in the States you have in college already.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the main difference. Yeah, and we can't echo our feelings because of the 3Ds. Don't date, no drugs, no driving.
Yeah.
No drinking, for sure, as well. Yeah. It's totally different from drugs. 4Ds.
I'm just saying I'm from the US because that's what I know, and
and I must be from Germany.
yeah, sure. Why is that reason so important to them? Oh, well, it's because we're kind of poor and we had to fundraise the money to actually get me on this program. So, like, my town chipped in.
Yeah.
And if I get kicked out, I have now wasted the money of the entire town.
Yeah. Totally. I think in my case, to have a little bit more variance in there, I think I would like to also like be like a very ambitious person. So I also don't want to risk my career. It's heavy rain right now. It's rain season.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't take away my internet sometimes.
Yeah, that would be just our luck, like in the middle of a roll. No.
Yeah, that's like the tower collapsing, I would say.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so now we can each define our most attractive feature or features, and then for the other one, like I'm gonna tell you what is attractive about your character that you don't realize, and then vice versa.
You
This
have
is
an
always
idea
the tough
already?
part. Not specifically. I was the cliche, painfully shy high school person, so
Yeah. Most attractive feature.
I think I'm gonna actually say. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Would it make sense to say that I'm not easily to be impressed because at that age you can easily be impressed by nonsense, and I'm not?
See, I was actually going to say, I think that my attractive feature is the fact that, like, I'm just sort of drinking, like, I'm enjoying this entire experience. I'm a super fan of the pizza. I'm a super fan of the gelato. Like, the whole thing is great. I'm just drinking the whole thing in. I'm here for it. I'm here for the whole thing.
Cool, yeah. And I'm the super skeptical about everything. Yeah. That's the dream couple of the whole trip.
Cool.
Now 2 features, right? Which the other one has to define.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Do not realize it's attractive. Yeah, I think it's 2. Would you be okay with that? What is so attractive about this? How emotional you can get when watching movies and listening to stories?
Yeah. I was thinking for you that I think something that you don't realize is attractive is your confidence.
Yeah.
It's not the it's not the sort of swaggery confidence of a teenager. It's like somebody who's sort of very self-possessed.
Yeah.
Not fake. Cool.
And is it 2 or just 1 feature?
I want to say it's 2.
2,
Let's see.
Yeah,
2 things. It says on the character sheet. I don't think it says it in the book text. But what are 2 things about me that I don't realize are attractive?
Yeah. So another one.
Okay.
I would like to have one physical aspect as well.
Yeah. I think I'm going to say your smile.
Then I pick your voice.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Similar to a popular Italian singer. We don't define which.
That's fair. Oh yeah, sorry, I made another line. Okay.
Looks good.
I think so.
Yeah. And I was listening to the German 3D6 podcast, the 3W6, and an interview with Alex, and she was saying that purposefully she didn't put a name tag on the character sheet. So we can do that neither. We don't have to fix names if we don't want to.
Oh, interesting.
People are still free, she said, to put a name on the character, but she didn't do so because she thought we could happily play without a name. It should be a conscious decision to say we want to have a name.
I could go either way.
Mm-hmm. So far, we also haven't decided which gender we are, which is also very nice. Or would you like to fix that, to make a statement about that? Might make sense in play because of pronouns.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go with she and her. That's fine. That's my default.
And I take he, him, and good. Sounds good.
All right.
So, if anybody ever watches this and wants to know which mechanism we use, Dana Fried has put this idea together, mathematically sound replica of the Jenga tower, the tumbling tower, I mean. And it's we roll whenever we have to pull a brick, we roll and add to a line under the name of the number. So, and if we rolled one number 5 times, then the tower collapses. And we have in our sheet, we have a table to count how often which number got rolled.
Yep.
It's that simple, and it seems to work.
Sure does.
Cool. So usually I would suggest making a little break before we start play. But since this is a short game, I think it's optional. What do you think?
I'm good. I don't think I need a break.
Me neither. So, anything else you would like to fix before we
Nope, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Me too. All right. Then the first scene is the introduction scene.
Mm-hmm.
The introduction. And you are the lead, so you set the scene up.
Yep. I am just looking to see if there's specifically, like if there's specific instructions. I don't think so. Oh, okay. So we can set the scene together, or like we can, if we have scenes that we want to see, then you know, you can also sort of call for a scene. The lead always takes the first turn in the scene, and the follow decides when the scene is over.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, what do you think for his first scene? The prompt is an introduction.
Sounds good. I'm looking for like Italy trip, and for an Italy trip, I think I'm German. What about being on the bus and accidentally sitting next to each other in the bus? And so far, we didn't even notice each other.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like it.
And then we have like 6 hours on the autobahn, on the highway, sitting next to each other.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we play all night long.
Yeah. I just actually, in real life, I just drove to Canada a number of weeks ago, and it was going up. It was like 13 hours in the car. So.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Although that was not on a tiny bus seat next to a stranger.
Oh yeah, next to a stranger. Yes, yeah, another teenager. Well, actually, like we could also have like the whole bus trip. It's just the whole story we have.
It's true. Is the thing. I think it's more fun if it's not the whole bus trip, but we could do the whole bus trip. Let's see how it goes. We can,
beginners. Yeah.
We don't actually have to decide yet. We could just see how it goes.
Cool.
And we do still have the option of quote unquote knocking the tower down. We just don't get the satisfaction of actually knocking. I don't get the satisfaction of actually knocking a tower down. You have a tower set up that you could theoretically push over if you like. Yeah, that
Yes,
one.
yes.
So you do have that option available to you.
Yes. Cool.
Her. So yeah, so we are on a bus, presumably from an airport, is my guess. With a bunch of other teens, I suspect.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know any of the other ones. I'm not sure about you.
No. It was an international program. These are all highly qualified students, and like we got selected like out of 100 applicants, and yeah. So, but the French are all in the back. They are always sitting together because they always speak French. They don't speak so much English, so they hardly mingle with the others. Yeah, but the Germans, they give it a try. They try to speak English.
Yeah, and being the American, I think I am mostly sort of averting my gaze and not making eye contact with anyone because I'm afraid they will think that I am the awful American.
Yeah. I think I'll sit at the window because I came first to the bus. I was sitting already in before anybody else, and because we were supposed to leave at 2 p.m. And so 2 p.m. I was already sitting in the bus.
Yep, because that's the plan.
Yeah, but nobody else was there at the time. And the seat next to me stayed totally. Yeah, the seat next to me stayed empty for a long time until you came. Oh, and I'm quite relieved.
Yeah. I think I actually think that like the bus sits there for a little while. It's like going on 2:30, still hasn't left. We're kind of all sitting there. The bus is getting really hot. We've all been traveling for a while. The bus still hasn't left. So I think yeah, like I've got like a book or something. I'm reaching. I don't have an actual book near me, but I'm sort of like fanning myself. So this is my sort of first turn. I'm describing my movements here, where I'm like looking out the window and looking up at the front of the bus driver, fanning myself. It's hot.
And then your turn moves over to mine, right? Because you made a move. I'm the follow, so whatever I do, it has to happen unintentionally. I rarely can do something intentionally. But I think the moment when you drop the book accidentally,
Sure.
I want to help you getting it up again and touch your hand. Because we reached for the book at the same time, so I let it go immediately again. I didn't want to touch you. That was the first moment.
Okay.
So we need to roll.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 2. So I make a little cross.
Yep.
And now we use another technique which we just invented, which is I'm touching your face because I want to say something to you. Ooh, this is so interesting. Wow. Is this Kafka? Do you read Kafka in English?
And I kind of swallow and flick my eyes up from the floor to your face, and then immediately back down to the floor. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah. Should I not?
Well, it's you know that Kafka is Franz Kafka. He wrote in German. I read the original. It's really good. Is the translation as good as the English? The English as the German? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a bit tired, I think. And you see me awkwardly turning towards the window. However, because the window is like full sun on it, when I look at the window, when I look at the window, I actually looked straight at you again. And that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. So I'm unintentionally looking at you. Yeah, which is describing my movements. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know how the translation is. I don't speak German.
You want to have it your turn?
I kind of look rather embarrassed at that. I'm acutely feeling out of place here. Just waiting for those French people to start yelling at me.
And I'm also like knowing that they will soon start throwing paper or something from the back, and I don't want to be hit by it, so I'm sinking a little bit deeper in my seat. Just like this. They can be quite annoying, right? You know, I also wanted to learn French at school, but my teacher was a real asshole, I have to say. He was like, you know, we had this Turkish girl in our class, and she refused to call her by her real name and gave her a German name. Can you imagine how ridiculous that was? And I'm getting really excited, and all these memories that come back to me, and you can see that I can be quite impulsive, like when talking about injustice in the world. Mm-hmm. I think I should roll another dice.
Are you revealing something personal to me?
Yeah. I come up again because I can't touch the screen properly.
Yeah.
So further. Sorry.
And I kind of will sink down a little bit so that the back of the seats is sort of like, you know, covering us up, giving us cover from the French kids. And I will say to you, I actually speak a little French, but I don't want to because I'm afraid of them. So this is me intentionally revealing something.
Mm-hmm.
Which the revealing part is probably more the I'm afraid of the French people rather than the I speak French. Roll two, not two. I play on the 20 Apocalypse World on. Ooh, I got a 1.
Oh.
All right.
Slowly fills up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I I still remember a little bit of French, like je parle français, and je t'aime for sure. It's like, yeah, I prefer English. I mean, everybody's speaking English. All the movies are in English, and everything is in English. Like, why should anybody learn French at all? Like, I mean, it's still better than Latin. And then I become calm again because I somehow feel I said something stupid. Maybe you think that I'm less open-minded than I pretended to be, like on this international trip with international students, and I'm like, say something which reveals my rather rural background, and so I pull another brick. It's a 9.
Are you unintentionally revealing something again?
It was unintentionally. I can only do
you
so
only
once
do
per
once per scene
scene.
for unintentionally.
I see. So
that's so that we don't get stuck in the same scene forever.
I see. That makes sense. Yeah. I could also imagine that we had enough of that scene. Actually.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I have been doing a terrible job of keeping track of how many we have pulled, but Excel is going to come to the rescue now because I have a formula for this.
I put a formula as well in there already. The formula should be in there already at the attraction score.
Is it?
Yep. I put it in there.
Oh, okay. I was going to concatenate it with fancy text. We already have those bases covered. All right. Cool. Our next scene is a little embarrassment.
Yes.
How can that possibly go wrong?
Indeed, yeah.
So I think actually I do want to get away from the bus because it's going to be, if we stay on this bus the entire game, it's going to be a big embarrassment, not a little one. So I think trying to think how we could be brought together. I think maybe that the people who we're staying with are friends with each other. The kids of those families are friends with each other, and we're all going to be like sort of sitting together at lunch, and they want to try to introduce us to each other, and we're like, oh, we already met. So yeah, so I think we're at lunch at school, if that's all right with you.
Okay. So I was imagining that we are on this Euro trip. So it's like then it would be still like a host family dinner.
Okay.
Is that better?
Gotcha. Yeah, sure.
Because then we also have to behave and talk publicly. Yeah. I was also having a look at like Italy on a budget, like what could be done there. Yeah, just if we want to get around, that could be our way. Yeah, so I think we are sitting next to each other, right?
Okay, yeah.
And we have a chance to touch each other.
We would never do that. We're totally gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you see this as being like a dinner with one of our host families or both of them?
With one.
Okay.
Like if they're hosting both of us, then it's
Okay.
yeah. So it's in first stop is Milano. So the beautiful city of Milan, and we stay in a little family with Antonio and Claudia, and they have 3 beautiful little boys and daughters.
And all the girls stay in one room and all the boys stay in the other room.
For sure. Yes. So we get like antipasti, right? So,
Okay.
which is like some parmesan and aubergine and some ham. And the lead is starting the scene.
Yeah. So now that I've had a chance to unpack and freshen up, and I feel like a human again instead of, an awful traveling, stuck on a bus person. I have a lot more energy, and I am clearly like really excited to be here. And like I just have a bunch of food on my plate, and I'm just diving in.
I look a little bit more skeptical. And but I'm looking over to you, and I see how much you enjoy everything, and I would love to be like you, but I'm not. I'm taking my fork and trying to open the snail there. Is that a snail? I'm not sure. I think it's not very hygienic anyway, whatever they have here. It's like I heard like the Mediterranean is full of acid. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I feel like as you're sitting there, like trying to figure out what's happening with the food on your plate, you see like a shell of something like flies off of my plate because I've been trying to open it and it failed spectacularly. But instead of being embarrassed, like I just let out this like super big laugh, and it's infectious. Like everybody else at the table starts laughing about it.
Oh yeah. And I joined a little bit too late. And at that moment, to add to the embarrassment also from my side, I try to let the seafood disappear into my lap. But the whole red sauce is coming out and dropping not only over my leg, but also over your lap. And at the moment when I try to stop it from flooding all over your leg, I'm unintentionally touching you again. Look with shock and embarrassment in your direction. Oh my god, she will hate me. Will she? Well, she can't yet because the tower can't collapse yet. But we had another 9, so it's the second 9.
Oh, do we have a second one already? Dang.
Yes.
So as that happens, right, I sort of like lean out of the way, but then I put a hand like on your shoulder, like, oh, it's okay, it was an accident. So I'm now touching your shoulder. So I am also going to roll D20.
A 14. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Touch my shoulder.
Yeah.
I think I like that. And my lap is still wet. And I'm looking at yours and I smile in your direction. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. it's been a long day, right? Can we? Shall I help you in the bathroom? Can I do something for you?
I kind of bust out laughing a little bit, and I don't mean to be mean about this, but I think in between sort of chuckles and furious blushing, I'll say, "Are you trying to get my pants off?" I'm making a joke, but
oh my god! You see me tense up in my chair. It's like, whoa. And at that moment, fortunately, the host father is like pinging against his glass and is raising his glass and is welcoming his guests in his house and saying what an honor it is to have like international guests from all countries, and at his place, and his family is always having a good time. And then he's telling a super boring anecdote from last time they had guests here, and I'm so happy that this moment passed by without having me to answer. But so, and I was like, okay. I put my hands on my, like up to my head the whole time while he is talking, and I'm like,
that's amazing. And I think as he's telling his super boring anecdote, I will sort of lean in and sort of conspiratorially whisper that you know, it's okay. We can go skinny dipping later if you want. And this is me revealing something personal to you that I'm down.
wow.
20, because I'm the lead and that's what I can do.
Yes, full intentionally. Yes. Okay.
Oh, please describe how you react to
this. Yeah, I have to. Like, I'm smiling and say, "Wow, how do you know that? You know, in the last 2 years, every summer we went out. Every summer, me and my friends, like we went like the whole summer. There is this big public swimming pool, and we can climb over the fence, and there's an alarm system, but we know how to get over it. And then we go skinny dipping every summer. You know, it's like I learned this word because we had like an exchange student as well. Like he was from Detroit, and he was embarrassed. Like he didn't want to come like for a long time. But I can't stop talking because I'm actually quite excited because it seems like you are not embarrassed by me. I'm not in a total embarrassment. But I love skinny dipping. Yes, yeah. Whenever we have a chance, it doesn't have to be the Trevi fountain in Rome.
Although that would be pretty amazing.
Yes. And then we have a night in the prison. Yes. In jail. So
it's a different game.
Yeah, I would say I also revealed something personal about me, and I'm totally fond of that. Yes, I'm totally fond. Yeah. So I roll at 13. Okay, and I head over to you.
All right. I don't know if there's anything else I need to do in this scene.
I would say it's the same, yeah. I would also say cut the scene there. That sounds very good. We have our unintentional, intentional scenes. And yeah. And the little embarrassment has happened to a significant amount.
All right, finding common ground. Do we want to do the skinny dipping scene? Do we skip that? What do you want to do? Do you have thoughts?
Skinny dipping is great, yes.
Cool.
If the host family is rich, they might have a pool in the basement.
Yeah, but then they might catch us.
Indeed, yes. We might not go alone. Who knows? I don't know.
I definitely think we don't go alone, because like that's what teenagers do, right? Like they always go in groups.
Yes, yeah. The two Spanish girls would be with us, and I don't know if the English boys do so, but yeah.
Well, they probably would just to see the Spanish girls.
Indeed, yes.
I mean, that's how you always get groups, right? Like.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, let's do so.
All right. So I think this time I'm the early one. So I think that I have managed to get myself down into the pool before you have.
So the personal thing you reveal is your skin.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose I should do that roll. 20. I am absolutely 100% intentionally revealing it, so.
Oh, yes. And I'm a bit late. For some reason. I don't exactly know why I'm late, but maybe I'm afraid, maybe because like this is serious. Like if we get caught, like that could be the end of the trip. And about all my plans, I want to go to this university in Paris, and even I might even learn French, even if I resisted so much. So I'm still hesitant and thinking. And actually, when I undress you. I forget about you can. I think you can watch me from the pool, and while you might pretend that you are very busy, you can see like me. I'm dressing in such a thoughtful manner, as if I really don't care suddenly where I am. I'm totally elsewhere, and I do it very slowly. I do it wrongly. I put my jumper up, and it's like doesn't work, and I get stuck, and I need to put it down again. And I don't care. I don't recognize where I am somehow. And then when I'm standing there completely naked, looking over the pool, over to the other side of where there's a glass kind of a mirror or something, I look myself into the eye and looking into this mirror, and only then I realize that I'm standing at the pool naked, just like
a bunch of kids staring at you.
Everybody's staring at me, and I suddenly like turn around and run back, and I forgot my keys. Where are my keys? Yeah, I think I should. I have unintentionally revealed something personal here.
Okay.
And it's another one. Accumulates.
How far away from the pool do you walk?
Just a few meters. So 3 meters, but there's some space because they have a sauna, and it's not in use at the moment, but it's like at least a little bit like a corner.
Aww. I just remembering like how awkward kids were when I was a kid, and it's like, oh, you're so cute. I only knew now, or knew then, what I know now.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So I'll sort of call to you, and say, "Hey, where are you going? Why don't you come in?"
Come to you and yeah. Sorry, I think I lost my key. They must have dropped out of my pants, and I'm afraid that they are still here. It's too dark. I can't see them. I'm still completely naked in front of you, but don't seem to recognize. And you're in the water. Nobody. You're covered by water, so it's dark anyway. But if I forget my keys here and they find them tomorrow, how shall I explain that I need to go to the swimming pool in the basement to find my keys? Can you help me?
And I don't know how, like, if you're kneeling down or not.
I do.
But I will, like, I'll put my hand on your sort of knee or the side of your leg, and be like, I'll help you look for them.
Ooh, electricity.
20, yep. So I got a 13.
All right, I'm I'm so happy again. You can see me smile again, because like every time you touch me, like my smile is coming back. And I don't know how much you like my smile. I don't like my smile. Oh, and so I help you out, because like what else can I do right now? It's like, but that's not the kind of touch I'm unintentionally aiming for. But when we look for the key on the ground, the same what happened in the bus is repeating. We find the key at the very same time and touching it, and our hands lying on top of each other on the key, and we're just staying there just for 2.5 seconds. Too long. It's like we are naked, we don't care, but we have our hands on each other, and that is like it. Yeah. And then the British guys behind us, they burst out in laughter because our asses are high up in the air. And they find it so ridiculous. And I was like, oh, but now I first need to pull it. And 11. That's good. So I somehow have the feeling that it would be okay for us to be there a little bit longer, like one more turn, if that feels good to you. Yeah. Like maybe how we get dressed again, or yeah.
Oh, I was absolutely going to push you in the pool. I was just going to shove you right into that pool.
Yes, that sounds good.
Yes. Once we found the key and you were assured of that, it's time to have fun now, friend.
Cool. Okay, you push me in the pool. Mm-hmm. You really think so? You think that's a good idea? You think it's a good idea to push me in the pool?
Yep.
And I fight you back. And then at the last moment before I fall into the pool, I grab you by your neck and draw you with me intentionally into the pool, so we can both splash. And I was very close to actually fall from my chair.
Do that.
Yeah, so I use my once per game move to intentionally touch you.
Okay, cool.
And I would say when we both sink into the water and the water bubbles, the air bubbles are rising up, and we stay also a little bit too long underwater, that could be cut for the scene.
Cool, I like it.
Thank you. Back out of water and back in civilized dresses again for the next scene. And attraction score is already on 13.
Yeah. Did you roll for that intentional or unintentional?
I did, yeah. It's
cool.
Yeah, I haven't reduced the number yet. But
okay, so now we have scene number 4, which is hard at work.
how did that work?
What do you think that we'd be working on?
Like these exchange programs, they give you all this workshop nonsense about you are the future leaders of the world and so on. And so if there's a part of the program might be that we have to go to one of those workshops where a motivation coach is talking about like universities and push harder and push yourself harder. Go if you don't suffer, then it's not. Then you didn't try hard enough, and this kind of nonsense. Yeah.
You have to fulfill your potential and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alternatively, we could also climb a volcano. That's
I mean,
whatever you prefer.
I'm more interested in the volcano.
Sounds good, yes.
All right.
Then let's say we are south Italy, which is in Napoli, and we climb the Vesuvio. A beautiful volcano. And it's quite hard work to climb.
I was gonna say, is this like a hiking climbing or like rock climbing?
It's very hot, so it's very hot, and that makes it really tough.
Scaling up the side of a cliff face, right?
Yeah, no. If we want to, we can.
I'm trying to think if I would find that interesting or not. I think that it unnecessarily complicates things. I think I'd rather just be doing like strenuous hiking.
Mm-hmm.
If that's okay with you.
I love it, yes. Yeah, just walking. It's hot. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you know Celsius, like 35, 38 degrees Celsius.
Dang. Yeah.
So it's like
quite warm.
Water running down our face.
Yep.
Yeah. The t-shirt completely stuck to our body. Oh dear. Oh. The look in my bag, and I had a Snickers with me, and it's completely melted.
Oh no! It's liquid.
I don't like it anymore. Oh. Are you okay?
I think I have been uncharacteristically quiet during this hike. Excuse me. I am super duper warm, and yeah, I'm trying to think how would I reply if you asked me how I was doing. Yeah, I think I'm just sort of distracted. And yeah, sure, I'm fine. It's just this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I think The French have already given up. They return. I think they return to this watermelon stand, and I would love to have a watermelon now. What about you?
Yeah, that does sound pretty amazing.
But if we give up, I think it will be noted down. They will let our supervisors know. I think it's part of the challenge to be on this trip, to get up the volcano. And then I look down on me, brush over my legs, try to untuck my pants from my legs. I have this energy drink. Do you want to have this energizer? Like, want to share with me?
Yeah. And then I'll go to take it, and I absolutely 100% put my hand on top of your hand, not on accident at all.
Let it stay there for a moment.
Oh, we got an 11.
But like any moment, somebody could turn around the corner and see us. Why do you do that? Our supervisors.
And I take like a long drink of this, and I hand it back to you without putting the cap on it.
Oh yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on. You can see that I'm really afraid that somebody could turn around the corner and see us sitting here again together, as if they were not talking already. I'm pretty sure. Oh. And then I start walking up again, looking in your direction, and then you could just see me from the back and like stretching my legs and my muscles and making an effort to get further up, getting further up to the volcano crater. I want to see the crater. But then I make one wrong step and I drop to the ground. I fall, I stumble, I leave the path, and you hear me scream and reaching my hand to you. And I hope I can grab it.
Oh, yeah.
I still want this to be like unintentionally revealing something personal. That's what I reveal here. Is that the next moment I'm saying, I think it's getting too much. Looking down there is like making me totally dizzy. This is too high for me. I can't climb high buildings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you help me? Can you somehow do something for me?
What do you want me to do?
Please don't. The others shouldn't see me like this here. I think I can't make it. You want to go alone? Just turn around.
No, come on. Come on. Why don't we just finish it? Don't you want to see the top?
I'm not sure. This is high.
I'm sort of like pushing my hair, like putting it back in a ponytail, and I'll take my t-shirt and like tie it up so that my midriff is like bare, because it's very warm and we're all sweaty and gross.
Oh. I'm looking at you. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay. Okay, I'm doing it. But please stay close to me. And while we continue walking up, I'm telling you a story. And it's the story how I was once going skiing with my parents in the Alps. And I was just 12 years old, and I got stuck in one of the lifts going up, and I was sitting there, and there was a power shortage, and I was sitting there for a full hour freezing there, and I was crying and sitting there, and I thought like the world had lost me, and I thought I had to jump into the snow below me, which was like full of rocks, and there was wind, and it seems I'm not only telling the story, but I'm also like try to tell you something that I like to be close to you. I'm intentionally revealing something very personal here. I need to make a roll. But the good thing is we are still far away from anything too serious. However, I get another 6. Okay, we have such a good distribution.
And I think after like a minute, I make sure that you're gonna be like okay to sort of keep pace with me, and I actually tell you a story of my own, which is that I am from, the Midwestern U.S. and the largest peak I've ever been on is, basically a hill compared to a volcano in Italy. And I think that with this sort of story, I am revealing that I have led a rather sort of boring small town life, and I am intimidated by all of this whole experience. Also, deep 20.
That is leaving me back very thoughtful. Because you're speaking to a part of me which I don't want to realize I also have. And it's, you see me like, my head is looking down to the rocks as if I had to concentrate not to fall again. Still have a little bruise. And you can see me sometimes wringing my hands whenever we make a break. And I think then we make it to the crater and we could end the scene when we look down there with me keeping 3 meters distance from it, while I imagine you being much closer to the crater. But I don't mind. I see you standing there, and it's just something I don't understand what's going on in my head right now, because you're at this gigantic crater, and there's nothing more beautiful than you standing there. So we move over to close, quiet, and alone.
Mm-hmm.
That is not skinny dipping. That is not climbing a volcano. That's actually interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? What is close, quiet, and alone for us?
Oh yeah. Like when we go on the tourist kind of elements of Italy, my favorite place when I was a teenager and I was in Italy with my high school class at the age when I was 17 actually. There is an old, very old church which is built out of the bones of the monks who lived there in the last centuries, because they bought, for a lot of money, they bought 1 ton of sacred earth from Jerusalem and they brought it there, and so they want to have their bones as close as possible to the ground. So one option would be the tourist thing, that we are in this sepulchrum surrounded by bones, a little bit scary maybe, or it's just a dawn. To typical dorm, and we need to be.
Oh no, I think it has to be the bones.
Yes. No dorm, no.
Mm-mm.
A place where people sleep forever.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Bone Church in Rome.
So, yeah, describe me this place a little bit. I'm not familiar with it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I can send you a link if you like, because it's really amazing, that place. Yeah, there's lots of pictures, lots of bones.
Okay.
It's tough, yeah, but impressive. Yeah. But a sacred place. It's not like a super dark place. It's
no.
It's a
just
sacred
filled
place.
this church with bones. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I wonder how you like that. How you like it in there. I think it's just the two of us, or like maybe some other tourists.
I think maybe we found like a little quiet sort of corner or something. Little alcove of some sort. And I think so far most of this trip, I've just been sort of like looking up at all the bones in the ceiling and the whole church, and I'm just sort of taking all of it in. And I think so I think when we first come into the church, I actually took your hand for a second and held onto your hand.
Oh yes.
And gasped because I was so like impressed with this.
Okay, but I think I don't want to let your hand go again. And that creates this weird moment, like that we step over the entrance together, like as if it's a marriage ceremony, like getting into a church and over the entrance, but it's like with holding hands. It's like a very symbolic thing, and so the spiritual atmosphere of this place is immediately picking over to me. So, did you know that they are still burying people here in the ground? And as soon, even then, as soon as they are rotten enough, I mean, you know what I mean. As soon as they're just the bones left, they still get them out and continue to decorate everything here. I like it. I think it's beautiful. But what do you think?
I think I'm still sort of entranced by all of this, and I'm just like looking around, and I'm just sort of captured by the beauty of this place. I'm not freaked out about it at all. Like, I just think it's super pretty. And it's so unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The deeper we get inside there, the darker it becomes, the place. And there's also incense in the air, because there was a mess just before we were allowed to enter. This is also why just a few people are there. And I think then comes the problem that there is another monk coming in, and I'm afraid suddenly that we are not supposed to be in here, that we did a mistake, that we shouldn't have entered. So I grab you by your hand, and and rush forward so that we can hide into one of the corners there. So we get very close to the bones and like hide just next to us is one of the skulls and looking straight at us. I'm sorry. I think I need to pull a brick first.
Yep.
And that's a fortunate 12. I unintentionally touched you. I also took your hand. I just can't help myself. And I'm sorry. I thought like we were not supposed to be here. Now we're deep in the corner.
I think I just giggle at that because you're being nervous is pretty cute, and yeah, I think I'm just giggling at this, kind of looking at you.
Yeah. I just can't help myself. I like you giggling. With everybody else, I would think that it would be something against me, and yeah, I mean but with you, my confidence is growing and growing. It's not fake confidence. I know what I can. I know what I want. So we stay calm. We're in this corner, and the monks are passing by and chanting in Latin. It feels like being in a movie, doesn't it?
And I kind of lean in and whisper, "What are they saying?" Because, like, on the bus, you made some crack about Latin. I don't speak Latin, but you might.
They are talking about the greatness of God, and they say something about the ancients being with them, and they talk about a saint who rescued a virgin from certain death. And it seems to be the patron of the day, this saint, and it's I don't get it all, but wait a second. And then you can see me like as if I go into a trance. And then I say, I think they know that we are here. And I think they are fine with us being here. I think what they are saying is actually talking about us. I think they're making a little bit fun of us. If I understood it correctly, they are saying something like, if we are supposed to kiss each other. Oh, I'm not making this up, really. I'm not. That's please believe me. I'm not making this up. They were actually saying that. I'm sorry. Yeah, and yeah,
I don't know exactly what you did, but I feel like you should pull a break.
I should pull it. Yeah, I should do so. Yeah.
I don't know what the move is, but
I'm pretty sure I just revealed how much I want to kiss you, but in a very indirect manner. I don't think that is what they were saying, but anyway.
Hey, as far as I know, that's what they were saying.
Yeah. It's Latin. Yeah, it's Latin.
Excuse me. I think actually, I am going to intentionally reveal something personal about myself to you, which is sort of whisper under my breath that, like, if you were sort of relating the story about them saving a virgin, and so my revealing something personal to you is that they would not be saving me in that instance, because I am not. I think my character does it in a way more cute way, but I myself, Jen, am getting tired. So,
yeah. Yes, yeah.
so this is a 14. Oh, that's better.
Okay.
Yep.
We're still so safe and already an attraction score of 21. I think that means already that we are on the highest level of what we can get, right? Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. I think wouldn't it be a perfect opportunity to make the tower collapse?
If you want to do that, I'm totally down for that.
I do that!
All right. Yay!
This is what I built it up for, yes.
Because I want to kiss you in church.
Yeah. Because this is the chance. Yeah, no, we are in this church. We are alone. Nobody can see us. It's absolutely clear that our fellow students or supervisors will not come in. So I want to lean over and say, I think I love you. Ah, damn the world. From now on, you only need each other.
Yep.
And surrounded by bones, incense, and burning candles. I pull you down. Sounds good?
Yeah. And that's star-crossed.
That is star-crossed. Thank you. My tower has collapsed.
I'm so excited that you had an actual tower you could knock over.
Just to knock it over, yes.
It was very appropriate.
Yeah, thank you for playing with me.
Yeah.
Awkward teenage romance. Yeah. So very carefully getting closer and closer. Cool. But we were pretty far away from collapsing the tower.
Yeah, you say that. But the last time I played, we played with rolling on a number 4 times would knock it over instead of 5.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised with like how fast it happened. So I do think that we had a pretty wide spread of numbers.
Yes. Yeah, we have. Like looking at the.
So we didn't have anything even at 3. We had 1s and 2s.
Indeed, yeah. We had 14 of the numbers were used. It is a widespread.
Yep.
14 out of 20.
Well, that was really fun, and you can absolutely 100% play this game online, which I'm super excited about because I love this game.
Yes, totally. Yeah, and yeah, I was constantly touching actually your face, and it stayed intense. It was not losing intensity. And yeah, it's something. It's I find it so amazing touching the face. I have to say, because I never tried that before.
Yeah.
And I would not dare to without asking. I would not without asking. I think nobody should do that. Don't do that. Whoever watches my videos, don't touch my face without asking me. I stopped the broadcasting. Right?
Okay. Yep.